It's an NVHA 230002, tape number 1, our 456th interview overall. It is September 27th, 2023, and we're in Anderson, Indiana, at the home of Jim and Kathy Harlan. First of all, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to do this interview.
You're welcome.
Let's start off with the basics. What is your full name?
James L. Harlan.
Okay. Does the L stand for anything you want to talk about?
Lionel.
Lionel, that's a good one. Now
I was named after my grandfather.
Okay, okay. What about the James? Was that a family name?
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, just a good name to go along with Lionel.
I wear it.
Okay. And what was your highest rank in the military?
Specialist 4th class. Spec 4.
Spec 4. Well,
E4,
okay.
equivalent to a corporal,
Okay.
but in a specialist rank.
All right. Well, Specialist Harlan, where were you born?
I was not born in East LA. I was born in Anderson, Indiana.
Okay. Back then, most people were born at the hospital.
Yes.
Probably St. John's, I would take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
My siblings were all born in the Citizens Bank building.
Okay.
There was a practitioner there. And I came along late enough that it was hospital time.
Yeah, that's even today. People are born other places, but there was this period of time where most of them were born at home and a few in a hospital. And now, us boomers carry the day for those hospitals back then.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I take it your mother was there at the time.
Well, I'd certainly hope so.
Okay. Tell me a little something about her. What was her name?
Evelyn Louise Hopper.
Evelyn Louise Hopper, okay. And what would you tell folks about her? What was she like? She a quiet person, an outgoing person?
She was pretty quiet.
Yeah. Did she work outside the home?
She worked at Delco.
Okay.
She worked nights. Dad worked days at the post office.
Oh, all right.
He was a carrier.
Okay. Yeah. And what are your memories of her?
Leaving for work. I'd come home from school and she'd be out the door for second shift.
Oh boy, didn't get to see her much.
No, not much.
Yeah. And your dad, what was his name?
Raymond Harlan.
Okay. And you say you worked at the post office?
Yes.
All right, the one downtown? Or?
Well, he worked downtown. He worked at Station A. He worked
Okay.
out of Station B. Okay. He drove parcel post. He was a floater on walking routes.
Was he a clerk or a carrier?
Oh, he was a carrier.
He was a carrier?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my dad was a clerk.
Yeah, I
downtown.
won't hold it against you.
For some reason, the Carriers always won the baseball game when they
Well, it might be because they were out walking.
out
all the
walking
time.
around. Yeah, I finally figured that out. Yeah, my dad wasn't all that into it.
I do remember them playing dominoes at the post office picnics.
Yeah, downstairs they had a running game that just seemed to go on forever.
Okay.
That's the one I remember.
And Dad worked downtown. Station A at one time was at 23rd and Meridian. And yeah, it hadn't been there in a long time.
Yeah.
And then there was the one out on Marine Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those both shut down when they built the one on Rabel Avenue.
I see. Okay. Yeah, Dad retired in '68. When did he retire?
66.
When you got drafted, when you entered the service, you retired.
Okay.
Okay.
So just a little before Dad went.
70.
Yeah.
71, she says.
Yeah. Dad said that it used to be, before the Carriers went out, they lined them up for inspection, made sure their shoes were shined. And
Really?
yeah. Yeah, that was a big deal.
Well, Dad had come out of the Navy where he was working as a postman.
Mm-hmm.
And when the orders came through for hardship discharge, 4 children or more, he had the orders in his hand, carried them to the person who was supposed to get them, and helped set the table up so he could be the first one to sign up for a hardship discharge.
It's good to be on the inside.
Yeah. And then he continued at the post office because, having been a veteran, he had points.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sound like you had a pretty good dad.
Yeah, he kept it interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know how they met?
They went to high school together. Beyond that, I don't know.
Yeah. Anderson High School?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So they're from here too.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, no.
Well, no.
Dad was from Connersville and Mom was from, not Mulberry,
Some other place.
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt? Okay. Now, why did they come to Anderson?
I don't know.
Parents worked at Breamy or something? Or?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Grandpa Harlan was an auto mechanic, had also worked at Lynch Glass Machinery. Lionel had worked as a linotype operator at the Anderson newspapers. And late in life, he moved down to San Antonio, Texas, where he painted things like that photo there.
Oh, my. Wow. Very talented.
Yes, he had the gift for it.
Wow. I do not.
And he died down there. And Grandma brought him back on the train. And he's interred in East Maplewood.
Okay. Now, did you interact much with your grandparents on either side, or?
I was late enough that the only grandparent I had left, well, I take that back. I vaguely remember my Grandma Hopper, and I more remember my Grandpa Harlan.
Okay.
But Lionel passed away before I was born.
Yeah.
And Grandma Hopper lived downtown in an apartment in what later became known as the Fire Block.
Sure. On the west side of the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then she moved back to Mulberry, Indiana.
Now, she wasn't involved in that fire, was she?
No.
No. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a pretty nasty fire.
Yeah. Firemen on strike didn't help a thing.
Yeah, that was bad timing on that. Wow. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Well, I guess, yeah, you said you were the last one, so I mean...
Yeah. My brother was the oldest. And I have
names and something about them. What
I'll
happened
get there
to
in
them?
a moment.
Okay. Yeah.
My brother was the oldest, and I have 3 sisters.
Okay.
My brother was Michael. He's already passed on. My eldest sister is Dixie, and she basically raised me because Mom was at work. Middle sister is Sharon, and the youngest of the 3 is my sister Kathleen. Kathleen now lives in Tennessee. Sharon and Dixie both live here in Anderson. Dixie went to St. Elizabeth Nursing School to become an operating room technician.
Okay.
I got hit by a car in 4th grade, which was the same time she was at St. Elizabeth. She and 2 of her nurse trainers came and took care of me at home when I got out of the hospital. And that hooked me into an interest in medicine. Not enough to go into the profession,
Yeah.
but enough to educate myself more than casually. So I know more than average Joe on the street about.
It's good to have that knowledge, because many times you have to be your own advocate
Yeah.
when you get in the system. Found that out.
Mike worked at Delco as a janitor
Okay.
and also set up a kitchen cabinet shop where I learned more woodworking.
Mm-hmm.
I'd already started playing with a lathe
Yeah.
at home. Dixie went on to have, what, 6 children? And Sharon had 2, and then 2. And Kathleen had 2. And then all those have had children, so I'm an uncle many times over.
Ah. So, where did you grow up in Anderson?
Up until the end of the 3rd grade, I was over at Central Avenue School in the 2000 block of Fletcher.
Okay.
Then we moved out to the east side of town on East 10th Street. And then we moved to Meadowbrook.
Yeah.
And I graduated, got drafted, moved to Georgia, moved to Germany, moved back to Anderson.
That's a natural loop for most people.
Yeah. My great aunt on my grandmother's side, sister-in-law to my grandmother, once told me that I had a double crown in my head, my hair, and that indicated that I would be on 2 continents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was well before I got drafted.
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah.
That's good. Wow. Where on 10th Street?
Greenbrier Drive,
Okay.
right
sure.
on the corner.
Uh-huh. Know exactly what it is. Pretty close to where I live now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Friends on Greenbrier.
And my
And-
son now lives 4 houses down from where I used to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we're neighbors.
Yeah.
Now, Meadowbrook.
West 33rd.
Okay.
Could look off the front porch into the switching yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I lived on Brown Street, south of 38th, just south of 40th
Okay.
Street, actually. And so Meadowbrook was one of my running
Haunts.
around places,
Yeah.
and the rail yards, and Frazier's when I can get by with it.
I went to Central Avenue School, elementary, up to 3rd grade. We moved out to 10th Street, and they had just opened 10th Street School. It was brand new.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there 4 through 6. Then I went to Madison Heights Junior High
Yeah.
and Madison Heights High School.
Okay. All right.
Graduated high school and went to work in sawmill.
Well, let's not get too far along yet. What do you remember about, say, downtown Anderson from when you were younger?
Oh, I remember scramble bells and diesel buses that smoked all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Going in the back door of J.C. Penney's, buying 2 or 3 pairs of jeans for school.
Mm-hmm.
What was the coffee shop cafe that was on the hill there by the back door to Penney's?
There was Hill Snappy Service.
I think that's what it was.
Okay. Yeah, it was kind of on the side there. I think it might have been other places, but that's where I remember it.
Yeah. Later in life, Joe's Record Shop.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the old courthouse. I remember all kinds of pigeon infestation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the buildings' roof lines were lined with pigeons.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty much... I worked downtown later,
Yeah.
so young and old, and I've been watching historical shots on Facebook.
Mhm.
So it clutters what I remember versus what I've recently
Oh,
learned.
sure. Yeah, a lot of good memories from downtown Anderson.
Yeah.
By any chance, did you remember the pencil man that I wrote about?
The guy on the scooter board?
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did.
Did you really? What's your memory of him?
Walking past him.
Yeah. Never stopped to talk to him or anything?
No.
I just had that one encounter around Christmas time where he offered me a pencil, and Mom just, come on, keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any childhood heroes? Baseball players, cowboys, someone in the community or the family you kind of looked up to?
My brother-in-law, Larry, from the time he was dating my sister, clear up until now, I admire him greatly.
That's good. That's quite a tribute. Yeah. What was it about him that you admired? Could you single anything out?
He always engaged with the child and did it freely and at the child's level.
Yeah.
He built 2 model airplanes for me with 049 gas engines,
Oh, wow.
you know,
Cool.
that actually flew, not just models.
Yeah, yeah. On a string?
Yeah,
Or?
yeah.
Yeah.
And he took me for my first airplane ride
Wow.
in a PT-19 trainer
Oh, cool.
out at Ace Airport, which is a grass airport field.
Yeah.
His father was a certified aircraft mechanic, hence the PT.
Yeah.
But Larry built me a couple airplanes. He was probably instrumental in me getting a brand new bicycle, which none of my siblings had ever had. He worked as a photographer at the Anderson newspapers and took me up to do darkroom work, which got me totally interested in black and white photography.
Yeah.
So I still have my enlarger and trays downstairs.
Yeah.
He went drag racing. He had a 63 Chevy convertible that ran G-stock automatic, the GSA, and he was 0.3 of a second off national record
Wow.
with a stock car.
Not bad.
Straight off the dealer's room,
Wow.
and it ran that fast.
Yeah.
And he took it to the Nationals
Huh.
down in Indy, but he always ran over at Muncie. And he had a horde of trophies. He also taught me how to do stop frame animation with a film camera.
Ooh, cool.
He had a Yogi Bear coin bank, and the head would spin. And he took Yogi in a circle and then made his head catch up with him. So yeah, I admire my brother-in-law.
I can see where he'd stand out. Where were the places to play when you were a kid?
Oh, early on, playing in the alley, the backyard.
Yeah.
Played with a guy across the alley. When we moved out to the east side, it was bicycles. There was an active gravel pit within a mile, and we'd ride our bikes over there. There was a family refused to have their house bought, so the gravel pit was all around them, and they had to provide access. So they made a road through the woods to get in and out of the house.
Huh.
And we would ride down that path through the woods. And play around at the gravel pits, play around in the woods. I learned to identify pawpaws and sassafras.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was before I started working wood.
Yeah. What was that where the Rangeline Nature Preserve is now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's quite a place.
Yeah, it was significantly different than it is now.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Those pits were
Was it-
deep and clear and cold.
Mm. You swim in them?
Oh, hell no. I don't swim.
Okay.
And I knew that that water was cold enough that even if I could swim, it would be dangerous.
Yeah. Not every kid knows that. Yeah, we interviewed a guy in Jersey that used to swim in the East River, and he says it was nice and warm, but there was a reason it was nice and warm.
Yeah, I bet.
Not a good one.
Yeah.
Buzzy was an interesting guy. You went to Central. You remember any of the teachers from there?
Mrs. Schaefer, Mrs. Neese, man, I can't remember my kindergarten teacher's name.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Schaefer had a student teacher, Mrs. Greenley. When I got to Madison Heights Junior High, Mrs. Greenley was teaching English, and I had her for English.
Oh, son of a gun. She had an insight with her, and she gave you better grades.
No.
No.
She didn't even remember me.
Oh, man. When they become famous, they never do.
No. And then at East 10th Street, Mr. Harding, Mr. Dobbin Spec, I'll tell you about him in a second. Oh man, I can't remember the principal's name. Richardson. And his brother taught 6th grade. Mr. Richardson was principal. And I had occasion to encounter him later in life where he was principal at Longfellow. And he said, man, the kids are so ill-behaved. Why can't the teachers do anything about it?
Yeah.
And he said, by the time they get to us, they're already formed. If the parents haven't disciplined them at home, there's nothing left for us to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Dobbinspec, whose wife taught at Central Avenue School,
Yeah.
but she taught in a grade I never got to. Mr. Dobbinspec had served in the Army in Germany, got familiar with the Germans, who decided that Dobbinspec was a German name. He needed to be Dobbinspec, Wissy, Baumann, Fullenberger, Dobbinspec.
Okay.
And that's from 5th grade, so that made an impression on my mind.
Wouldn't you hate to write a check with that?
Oh,
with
yeah.
that name? Then, see, at Madison Heights Junior High, we're one of that select group of people who went to Madison Heights Junior High before it disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Leckleitner, wasn't he a shop teacher
He was.
at junior high?
I had him in high school.
Okay. Maybe it was high school. I couldn't remember whether it was high school or junior high.
I can't remember the shop teacher's name in junior high. I know he walked with a limp, had glasses, and was bald. But I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
And we did printing, and we did lathe work. I don't know what else. I was already playing with lathe at home. Dad had about a 12-inch lathe with a 4-inch swing.
Yeah.
And I put an old washing machine motor on it that wouldn't start unless you grabbed the belt and yanked it. And I turned a lamp there at home wanted to make a companion for it at school, and they said, well, you can't turn laminated stuff. You have to turn it out of solid stock. I said, I've already done it.
Yeah. Let me show you how it can't be done.
Yes. When I got to high school, I had Mr. Leitner for wood shop, and earlier in the day of the first day of class, I'd been up in algebra class, doodling, and I made this design. I said, you know, that'd be cool. So I got down to wood shop and I said, I want to make a footstool out of this. He said, it won't fit. I said, yeah, well, because they had size limitations that you couldn't be any shorter than this to put it through the planer. Well, yeah, it wouldn't catch both rollers. I said, if you turn it sideways, it'll work. He said, you can't plane sideways. I said, if you're really careful and take it lightly, I think you can.
Yeah.
Where's it at, dear?
So.
Oh, it's on top.
Oh, gee, yeah.
Got it out of the way.
Well, I'd reckon. That's a little fancier than what I did in that sort of situation.
Yeah, I made that. I had a slack time, so I made a stool for him. That desk over there, I did 99% of the work at school and finished it at home.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been playing wood for a long time.
Yeah. You're good at it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm impressed. I've
Oh,
thought
yes.
of many projects, but never been able to build them.
The lamp table. That is an inlay design.
Is it really?
The
Oh, yeah.
the footstool is laminated. They're solid pieces. But that, I made the holes in the table and put the wood in it.
Wow. Beautiful work.
Thank you.
Was there one particular teacher who kind of stood out to you? Someone who made a difference or
What
inspired
level?
you? Just whatever level, you know.
Junior high, Mrs. Madigan. I had her for science. And I went home from school the first day and I said, oh, I'm going to hate this one. Turned out to be my favorite. I had a least favorite math teacher. I won't go into that. Probably Ken Hodson in high school. I had him for machine shop. And I also had Harold Thompson for auto mechanics. Andy. That's terrible.
Now you should remember every name from school and
Well, when
all
he's
your classmates.
when he's the choir director and you did 3 years with
Oh.
him, and you did special groups. I did mixed
I know who you mean.
choral and
That guy.
and men's quartet.
Oh yeah. And if you said the name, I'd know it too.
Yeah. We called him Andy Panda because he was petite and chubby and had a brown face. Brown,
Brown. Okay.
Andy
yeah.
Brown.
All right. Yeah.
as opposed to Mr. Berger, who was the band director.
Francis.
Yeah.
Okay, different.
Yeah, I started singing in elementary school. Didn't get in choir in 7th grade. They had tryouts for choir for 8th grade. I tried out. The girl across the street was in choir and a year ahead of me, and she told me that I had made choir for 8th grade. Start 8th grade, I'm not in choir. So I get a chance, I go in and I talk to the choir director. I said, I tried out for choir last year. I got told that I made choir. He said, what's your name? I said, Jim Harlan. He said, you want to spell that for me? Harlan.
Yeah.
He said, oh, I see what happened. Jim Harless
Uh-huh.
got put
Yeah.
in choir. He hadn't tried out.
Yeah, I had trouble keeping those two
Yeah.
names separate too. But,
So that's where I met Jim. And he went on to become a Christian minister.
Mhm.
And he loves to tell the story of me putting him in choir.
oh. Yeah. There's a guy, his name is Arlen, and they misread it and put Arlene,
Oh, boy.
and he wound up going to the girls' PE class.
Oh.
He had a heck of a time.
I have a great nephew whose name is G. Christopher Jones. in high school, in the yearbook, they put him down as Chris Topher.
Oh,
No other name, Chris Topher. So I refer to him as Topher, and
Topher.
various people who know him say, why do you call him that?
oh man. Francis Barker, you were in the choir. Were you involved with him any in the music program?
What, Mr. Barker?
Yeah.
Only to the extent that I thought I would play clarinet.
Ah, okay.
And having tried that through the summer and becoming horrendously frustrated because it was so easy to sing and so hard to play, I abandoned the clarinet and became a vocalist instead.
Okay. What do you remember about Mr. Barker? I never really interacted with him much.
Neither did I really.
Okay.
Stern expression.
Yeah.
And he was extraordinarily quiet. He always seemed like he was thinking of something else.
Hmm.
And before I graduated, he left for a college-level position somewhere out west.
Yeah.
I was sorry to see him go.
Yeah.
I enjoyed him.
Sound like a pretty good teacher then.
Yeah.
He had a good influence on you.
We would have sight reading tests. He was kind to us. He would give us a piece of music we hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
And he would start with the seniors and pick out 4 people at a time, one from each part.
Mm-hmm.
Have them come down, sight read the piece. And everybody would sight read the same piece for the test that day. So he did all the seniors, then all the juniors. By the time he got down to the last, the youngest who could sight read worst, they'd had enough time to listen to it and memorize it. So actually it taught you, because you're sitting there listening to it 100 times, but you've got the music in your hand.
Yeah.
And you can follow along, and you see the dots, and you see where they're going, and you hear what's happening. And you're teaching yourself to read music.
Yeah.
And by the time you're a senior, you can pick up the music and with accompaniment, and the ones who are really good could do it without accompaniment
Yeah.
and pick it in the right key.
You remember any of the students who were really good?
Tom Dixon was a tall guy who sang bass and could really put it together.
Okay.
And he went to Juilliard, and he didn't pursue it.
Huh.
He got to Juilliard and saw how stiff it was in the business and walked away from it.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a cousin that got into opera, and he was all over the world, and he only did that for so long, and then just couldn't afford to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Wound up being a music teacher.
Okay.
Happens a lot.
Yeah.
When you were in school, did you know what you wanted to do when you got out of school?
No.
Didn't have any forward plans like that?
No.
Not planning on going to college or anything?
Nope.
Yeah.
I had probably one of the strangest schedules. I was classed as college prep, and I had not a master's, major.
Yeah.
I majored in industrial arts
Okay.
and music, and of course, English and math.
Yeah.
I only did 3 years of math. I wasn't on the 5-year math course. I didn't feel that we had the financial wherewithal for me to go to college.
Yeah.
So early on I said, no, we're not going to do that. Yeah, I did a 3-hour stint of vocational machine shop. My senior year, I had 2 hours open, and if I didn't take a machine shop class, I was going to have to back up and take U.S. history.
Hmm.
If you were in choir, you got to skip U.S. history. Pardon me?
No, he's just giving me a signal.
Okay. So I cut a deal with the counselors, because Mr. Hodgson had no problem at all with me taking 2 hours of a 3-hour vocational shop.
Okay.
And I saw him this past summer again.
Wow. How's he doing now?
Fine.
Good.
He's gone back to teaching part-time. He's
Is he?
also on the school board.
Huh.
He ran for school board position. And his wife is teaching again.
Wow.
A guy managed to pull some specials in almost every shop class I was in. Did the footstool. There were requirements for wood shop. I didn't do any of them because I incorporated so much of the work that was in the projects into things I was doing.
Sure.
Same way in machine shop. I never worked on the big lathes. I always worked on fine detail work. When we wound up taking transportation, which was in the auto mechanics classroom, Mr. Thompson said, okay, I'm going to have 2 of you guys tear down this V8 engine that's on the engine stand. And he picked me and Mike Gooding, and Mike and I were both in choir, and we got along, and we both worked on engines. And we walked over to the engine on the stand, and I said, I'll take this side and you take that side. He said, sounds good to me. And we stripped and rebuilt that engine in like 2 days.
Wow. Wow.
Because we both had prior experience at home working on greasy engines.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, is there anything else from high school you'd like to add to this?
I got through Latin, which I took for my foreign language, strictly on derivatives. My English teacher told me I had the largest vocabulary of anybody in my class. And since it was Latin, and Latin is the root for so many words, I could figure out what the Latin meant.
Oh, sure.
And that's how I passed Latin. I loved comp class. I had horrible penmanship. Willie Roller finally got to the point where she didn't bother to grade my rough drafts. She just waited for the final. And I got A's on contents and C's on mechanics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved comp class. Yeah, I had a lot of good teachers in high school. I can't think of any high school teacher I didn't like. And actually in junior high, I only had the one that I didn't like.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, well, there was an English teacher in junior high who was pretty gruff, and
would that be Mr. Hutchison?
that would be Mr. Hudson. You guessed it. Oh, and the other one was Milliken.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Keith Milliken.
I had Keith for homeroom,
Yeah.
and he always told us to pick up the debris around our desks. It's D-E-B-R-I-S, debris. It's the plural of debris.
Yeah. Yeah, I included him in one of my books under a different name. Slightly different spelling.
He was a character.
Yeah.
As I recall, he was a Marine.
Yeah. But he didn't have to take it into the classroom and beat people up with it.
Well, yeah, Marines are like that, though.
Yeah. We interviewed Maury Wan,
Really?
and fascinating interview.
I bet.
I mean, he had kind of an inferiority complex because of that place on his face.
Okay.
They told him that he could not go to officers candidate school because officers don't look like that. And and his brother was very confident. He was a pilot and all that kind of stuff. And Maury just had a bit of an inferiority complex. But Maury saved a man's life. They were in dry dock. He was in the Navy.
Yeah.
Had the rails down, and they were working on the ship. And some guy got into a hot power line.
Oh.
And Maury pulled him off of that line
Really?
before he went over the side. And just saved his life.
Just grabbed him and hold him
I don't know how he did it, but he got him out of there.
without getting hurt himself.
Yeah, you would have
That's-
thought it would have gone right through
Wow.
him, but he must have done it so quickly or lunged at him or something. And did
knocked
that.
him loose before he had a chance to get shocked. The only thing I can think of.
What's that?
Possibly knocked the guy loose from the power line before he
Yeah.
himself got shot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
He must have disconnected somehow, but yeah. And he had an interesting experience. He was on vacation in New Orleans, just walking around the streets, seeing stuff, and he saw this one nutcase on the corner handing out all these flyers and shouting and carrying on all
Yeah.
kinds of political stuff. And he says, I never really made the connection with that guy until after the Kennedy assassination. It was Lee Harvey Oswald
Oh,
handing
good
out his, pro-Cuba stuff that he did. So he had a very interesting piece of history there.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, good guy. I was glad we were able to do that.
I got drafted.
Yeah.
Did my basic at Fort Knox.
Okay, now what's the gap between you graduated in '69 and then,
went to work in the sawmill.
Okay.
And went to work in the sure. Guy built truck caps.
Okay.
Worked there for a while. I had become friends with the piano player while I was in choir.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a very gifted young man.
Yeah.
He was a year or two ahead of his chronological age in his class. He was invited to play soloist with the Anderson University Orchestra while he's still in high school. He said, "Will you come record me?"
Huh.
I said, "Okay." So I got a reel-to-reel tape recorder, set up mics, recorded him. He said, "You got to meet my girlfriend, you'll just love her." He was right. I still do. So, not long after that, I got my draft notice.
Yeah.
Went to Fort Knox, did my basic down there. Came back for a couple weeks. Got down to Augusta, Georgia, to Fort Gordon for the signal school.
Okay.
After I got a chance, I got a trailer off post in Hepzibah, Georgia. Look that up in your Funkin' Wagnalls. Going through school, came up on Christmas break, came home, and got married at First United Methodist Church on December 22nd. My anniversary's on the 23rd. By Reverend Bjork,
Oh, sure, yeah.
whom I met in the basement at Sears a couple years later, and he kept smiling at me, and I kept looking at him trying to remember who he was. And I finally said, I can't remember who you are. He said, I'm Reverend Bjork, I married you. So we moved.
Well, wait a minute. Let's hear a little bit more about this mysterious girlfriend. What was her name?
Kathy Coates.
Okay.
She was young when I met her.
Yeah.
That's all I want to talk about there.
Okay.
We got married and moved down to Georgia. The trailer had a horrible bed in it, so we pulled the springs and frame out from under it, threw the mattress on the floor,
Yeah.
and slept that way all the time we were there until the night before we came home. And we put it back together and said, oh my God. Nothing out of the ordinary happened while we were down there. James Taylor hit the music scene with Fire and Rain.
Mhm.
And Carly Simon and Carole King all came out while I was down there. Had a period of leave after, well, I went through the first school and we graduated around Christmas. And then I qualified for the second school, which was more advanced. And they were running day and night classes because there were so many of us.
Yeah.
So out of the better part of a year's worth of schooling, when I got out in the field, I used what I'd learned in 2 weeks, which was calibrating Geiger counters.
Geiger counters, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and restrictive. Came home from Georgia and then went to Germany. Finally found a house. Gave a sergeant money to buy me a car. He lost the money, didn't get me a car. Another lesson learned. Finally got a car, got an apartment off the post, which was an unusual arrangement in that we had the ground floor and the German family lived upstairs. Most apartments in Germany were the reverse.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great relationship with the landlord. The wife was the only one who spoke any English. The rest of them could say, Maria, not home.
Mm-hmm.
So we're living in the apartment. We find out there's a couple across the street, Barney and Bonnie. And Kathy becomes mom to all these married wives because she's the oldest and most mature. I didn't say you were mature, I said the most mature. One day Bonnie
He
called.
had more class.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day Bonnie called and said, how do you bake potatoes? Don't tell Jim. Well, she was loud enough that I heard it. So, we had some interesting times there.
Oh, I bet you did. Now, what's the time frame? When did you go to Fort Knox?
71, you say, dear?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
70, well, what, 6 weeks basic.
Yeah.
So still 71, because I went in February. Still 71 when I went down to Georgia.
Okay.
Coming out in 72. and then over to Germany in 72.
Okay.
To get the electronics training, I had to have them discharge me as a draftee and enlist for 3 years. So,
Was basic training very, very difficult for you? Some guys had just breezed through it, and others struggled with it. And,
I've been camping a lot.
yeah.
I remember one time we had been out to the range and we had to clean our weapons, and everybody's hurrying up, and running up there and getting rejected. And I just took my time.
Yeah.
And I took mine up, and he looked down the barrel and he said, "You got a piece of lint in there, run an old patch through it and you'll be done."
Wow.
It was like high school shop class.
Yeah.
You're tearing the metal apart, you're cleaning it, you're putting it back together. It was no big deal.
And
PT, where we had to lift our legs all the time up, yeah, that was stressful, and I didn't do well.
yeah.
We didn't do pugil sticks. Long marches. Our captain wussed out on us. We were supposed to go out, march out, spend the night in our tents, and come back the next day. We marched out. We're about half set up, and the weather forecast is for rain. And the captain sent trucks out and hauled us back. We didn't even have to march back. I said, "What? What kind of army is this?"
Well, that was tough, man.
Yeah. Got to throw a grenade while I was in basic. The concussion from that is phenomenal. We had a 4-foot high semicircular wall that we hid behind.
Yeah.
And there's a drill instructor there with you so that if you drop the grenade, he can deal with it. And you throw it as far as you can and duck down behind the 4-foot wall, so you're severely sheltered, and the concussion still crushes your chest.
Huh. Wow. I hadn't heard it described that way.
Well,
Yeah.
I never threw one out in the open,
Yeah.
which I'm sure you had guys tell you about. I never saw any combat action. When I was in Germany, East Berlin was still considered a combat zone, and you had to have all kinds of special paperwork and this and that and the other to go there, and you had to stay on this road. And I said, "I don't care to go there." Well, had I gone there, I would have qualified to join the Veterans of Foreign Wars. As it is, I can only join the American Legion.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
I don't care.
Yeah. That's a little picky for a group that desperately needs people.
Well, they do now, yes.
Paid for that decision. What was your military unit in Germany?
708th Maintenance Battalion.
Okay. And what was your primary function? What?
Calibrating Geiger counters.
Calibrating Geiger. Now, why Geiger counters?
In the event of a nuclear explosion, the tankers, whom we supported, would take the Radiac units that I calibrated and drive through the fallout zone. And given time and distance and location, they took regular readings on their Geiger counter, and the calculations were built for the shielding from the tank armor and the readings in the machine, and they could map a fallout zone.
Wow.
So I had to make sure that the Geiger counters were reading the way they should, and I did that 3 times a day. once every 6 months. No, actually twice every 6 months, because they couldn't turn in more than half of them at any one time.
Yeah.
So they'd bring half of them, I'd calibrate them, send them back. They'd bring me the rest of them, I'd calibrate them, send them back. And the rest of the time I was shop clerk. I filled out work order paperwork.
That's pretty good duty.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I spent a year in Georgia learning electronics from the ground up. I learned signal generators, multimeters, radar test sets, oscilloscopes, and I wound up calibrating Geiger counters. A lot of training gone to waste.
It's the Army way.
Well, I was old enough to work with radiation. Their formula for exposure was your age minus 18. And if it was 0, you weren't allowed to have any radiation.
Oh, okay.
And I was old enough. So here I am. I'm in charge of this radioactive source, strontium-90, yttrium-90. And we keep it in a battery acid box, which is a wooden box lined with lead.
Mm-hmm.
And it disassembles and has a lead cover on it, which you have to learn to put together by feel, again with the shop class. And then you take a cotton swab, dip it in water, and then swab around the inside of the armature,
Mm-hmm.
and go out and check it to make sure there's no leakage. They want to make sure that this can isn't leaking radiation.
Mm.
And since it's a radioactive source, it comes under U.S. Army Europe regulations that override damn near everything everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
One day I had a major come through, and the lieutenant is with him. And the major got to the radiac door, and it's got a radiation symbol on the door,
Yeah.
and discovers it's locked. Why is this door locked? U.S. Army Europe regulations state that nobody goes in there without authorization of the RPO, the Radiological Protection Officer. There won't be any place in this unit I can't go. I said, U.S. Army Europe regulations.
Yeah.
Got to have the RPO approve it. Well, he left in a huff, and the lieutenant went with him. And they got outside the door, and obviously the major said, "Who's the RPO?" And the lieutenant said, "I am." But he hadn't volunteered inside. So they're snapping back in the door. And lieutenant says, "Harlan, I've authorized him access." I said, "Okay." So we made him put on his film badge, and then I unlocked the door, and he looked in there and saw that there wasn't anything in there besides the battery acid box.
Yeah.
And he slammed down his badge and went off in a huff.
Yeah, some guys don't use their rank well.
Well, I was telling this story to a guy at cardiac rehab this morning, and we were talking about newbies.
Yeah.
New guys from college come into the factory, and they have their ideas that things should change,
Yeah.
that it should be done this way.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the same thing in the Army. Newly promoted, whether they be lieutenants, majors, whatever,
Yeah.
they're out to make their mark. And I think that was the major's problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because the general came around, and he was an old part like we are now.
Yeah.
And the lieutenant led the general past all the guys who outranked me, and had me give the general the tour of the shop. And we got over to the last bench, and we got 2 radios sitting side by side. We're stealing parts out of one to make the other one work.
Mm.
Not authorized, it's cannibalization. General comes up, said, "What's going on over here, specialist?" "Oh, we're substituting known good subassemblies until we can isolate the problem, sir." "Oh. Well, from now on, I think you ought to have the service manual out. Yes, sir, we'll take care of that. We walked 20 feet up to the door, and he turned around and said, got to give you one thing, specialist. You're fast on your feet. He knew.
Good for him.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, he took it calmly. I had a good lie. He didn't mess with it. And there's...
George Whitaker was in the Air Force, and he's kind of a character. He took a bunch of guys from the brig to a place where a document destruction area, and he was inside of a fenced area, and he got them starting to work, and then he just kind of laid down on the ground there, just kind of taking a little nap, and one of his superior officers came along and said, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm watching for enemy aircraft."
Good answer. Oh, man.
Oh, that was George.
I love the line in Eddie Murphy's Cop Show where he goes out to California.
Yeah.
And Eddie tells this beautiful lie, and the other guys screw it up. He said, "Why did you go and ruin a perfectly good lie?" He was buying it. So I was there for the Second Middle East War. I was there for the Second Munich Olympics, where they killed all the Israeli athletes.
Wow.
And I was there when Nixon resigned. That was just before I got out. Oh, excuse me, Agnew resigned.
Yeah.
That was just before I got out. Nixon resigned right after I got out.
Yeah.
Kept life interesting.
Quite a bit of history there.
A little, yeah.
Yeah. Was there any kind of alert status or anything when the Munich athletes were kidnapped? Or?
They put us on alert, but that was a paperwork function.
Yeah.
They didn't issue any weapons. We didn't load up.
Yeah.
Well, I think the grunts might have pulled out their armored personnel carriers and had them running and loaded all their stuff up. But in a maintenance unit, you don't play those games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something I've been reminded of while I'm doing physical therapy is that when you run and count cadence, you exhale for 4 counts while you're chanting.
Okay.
And then you inhale for 4 counts while the guide's doing it. So it regulates your breathing. It encourages you to breathe deeply.
Yeah.
And, the doctor I talked to yesterday had never considered that.
Huh.
So, as he said, you learn something new every day, or you should.
Yeah, my son's big on breathing exercises,
Yeah.
just for general maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was it that you liked about Germany?
Oh, God. I loved the countryside. I loved the people. I loved having a wife. I loved living my life off post. So we had ourselves, and we had our life. The Army was a job. I wasn't in the Army.
Yeah.
I worked at the Army. And that made life a lot more bearable.
Oh, yeah.
They tried several times to get me to go to officer candidate school, and I said no.
No.
Because Vietnam was still functioning quite well, and the motto amongst the troops was, war is our business and business is good. I didn't want to be in that business. It wasn't as bad, them trying to get me to enlist at OCS wasn't as bad as the guy who preceded me, the guy who was doing the job when I got there. He was getting short time and getting ready to go home, and he's in the showers one evening, and this major standing there naked with him is trying to get him to re-enlist.
Not the kind of incentive I would go for.
No, not particularly. Had some really cool people in the signal shop. Wayne T. Suzuki was from Hawaii.
Yeah.
He was the guy I replaced. Came around time for annual inspection after he'd left, and he'd told me that everything I needed was in this binder.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Wayne told me for inspection I needed to do something. And I started flipping through pages, and there was a note taped in there that said, Jim, cover your ass. I said, that's the page I need.
Well, it sounds like you're pretty fast on your feet. So you've proven that.
I was really sweating that inspection. Kathy said I was talking in my sleep.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Is there anything you missed about home when you were over there?
No, because I had home with me.
You had your home with you? Yeah.
I would not have been the same person had I gone over there by myself.
Yeah. I understand that. I sure do.
The crap that goes on in the barracks and on post, mostly because you're bored out of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have that. I had it down in Georgia before I got married.
Yeah.
And I had no desire to re-enlist. I was there because they grabbed me.
Mm-hmm.
And once they got me, they offered me wheeled vehicle mechanic. I said, working on trucks in the mud, under fire. I don't think so.
No.
Armorer, fixing weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't think there's a lot of market for it outside.
No, probably not.
Or electronic test equipment repair and calibration. Well, I was already
you go.
interested in electronics and
There you
hi-fi.
go.
And I said, okay, I'll trade you a year for the security of the concept that regardless of where you send me, I'm going to have to be someplace where I've got electricity to work on stuff. I didn't know about semi-trailers that had generators, which I found out about on maneuvers, but I was never forced to deal with it in a combat situation. We went on maneuvers in the Black Forest with a new moon. Black. And one of the guys is out after dark, and he's got his flashlight, and he doesn't have his red filter on it because he's trying to see where he's going. And a lieutenant stops him. What are you doing without a filter? Turn that light off. Put the filter on there. Now follow me. Turned the red filter on, and the lieutenant walked into a tree. And we got ready to go back to base, and the warrant officer in charge of the motor pool and the CO told the guys in the recovery vehicle, which is a tank with a fish hook on the back end. It's a wrecker.
Mm-hmm.
Told the guys in the recovery vehicle to take the vehicle down and fill it with fuel. Well, they didn't. And the old man found out about it. And so did the warrant officer. Because they ran out of fuel.
Oh, boy.
On their way to the railhead.
Mm.
So, the captain and the warrant officer had been relaxing. And they had to go down and supervise. So they made the guys fill up the tank with 5-gallon cans. There was a fuel truck right there with a pump that they were filling the 5-gallon cans with. But he made them fill it 5 gallons at a time. And over the radio, toward the end, the CO got on and said, Cooper, have my Bravo Echo Delta ready for me. Those were the two best stories out of the Black Forest.
Yeah. Well, hardships is one thing, getting shot at is another. So.
Yeah. On the subject of hardships, I already told that story, didn't I? Yeah, post office. It tends to loop around. Got out, came home, checked in with the Army Reserve. Since I had served 3 years active duty, I didn't have to do any reserve duty, so I was done playing Army.
Yeah.
While I was over there, I got constipated. And I went on sick call, expecting to get a laxative.
Mm.
And this nurse gave me kaopectate. I said, well, maybe she knows something I don't. So I tried it, and I remained constipated.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So I went to the PX, and I bought some Sal Hepatica. It's a crystal laxative.
Yeah.
And I read the directions, and it said, for cathartic action, use 2 tablespoons. I said, well, I don't know what cathartic action means, but I'm going to take 2 tablespoons. So I did, and I got up the next morning, and my bowels still weren't moving, so I took another cathartic action. And about an hour and a half later, I experienced the definition of catharsis. I spent the entire day in the restroom.
So you became an explosive expert.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Oh,
But
boy.
there are some words that are better not learned through experience.
Okay.
Wasn't complicated.
No, it wasn't.
Kind of an odd way to remind me of it, but your teacher said you had a great vocabulary.
Yeah,
Where did that come from? Was that
that one was not in the list.
not on the list? But my dad taught me the proper use of words, and so I had a pretty good vocabulary from my dad. Did your mom or your dad kind of push that along?
Mom and Dad had an old Winston dictionary. Not a Webster's, a Winston.
Yeah.
And I used it at school. I still have it. And anytime I didn't have anything else to do, I'd pop open the dictionary and just start reading.
Holy moly. That's great.
You know, if there were something I needed to look up, I wasn't as acute in using keywords as I could have been. Subsequently, it took me longer to find what I was looking for, and I found things to read while I was on the way. Van Horn. Mr. Van Horn was the one. We took some sort of test that year, and he was the one who told me I had the largest vocabulary in my class.
Okay.
And I said, okay, big deal.
How that ever came out of constipation, I don't know, but it just
Well, catharsis.
it just happens that way.
It's red worm.
So you, at some point, you got out of Germany. You came home.
Yep.
Were you discharged from the Army after that, or did you go somewhere else first?
I didn't have to go into the reserves, but I didn't officially get discharge paperwork until 3 years later.
Okay.
That was a 6-year commitment.
Oh, I'm not. Did you say where in Germany you went?
I don't think I did.
Okay. Where?
Baumholder.
Baumholder. Okay.
It's in the south of Germany. It was, at the time, the largest concentration of troops in Europe. Really close to the French border. And I took a 30-day leave from the 1st of July to the end of July, not from Monday to Friday. And amongst other things, we drove to Paris. We drove from the outskirts of Paris, or outskirts of France, to Paris, which is in the middle of France.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't really matter which way you go into it. Paris is still in the middle.
Yeah.
It took us in a junky old car no more time to get to Paris than it does to get from here to Fort Wayne.
Wow.
That's how small the countries are.
Wow. I would
And,
guess.
and we got to Paris, and we'd been told there was a campground on the south side of Paris. And we went looking for it, and we could not find it, and it got dark. So we pitched tent behind an abandoned filling station, got up the next morning. Oh, we encountered the French woman first, didn't we? Before we stopped at a filling station, French lady came out, we asked for directions. Kathy asked for directions, because Kathy had French for a foreign language.
Yeah.
Kathy got about 4 words out, and the way French is structured, the woman knew where Kathy was going.
Mm-hmm.
So she rattles off an answer. Kathy's parsing it, translating it, trying to formulate her answer. 3 words and boom, she's off again because she knows what Kathy's saying.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to find directions to the campground. We couldn't find it. So we spent the night behind a deserted filling station. And we decided that we'd drive downtown because there's a USO downtown in Paris.
Yeah.
And they could help us find the campground.
That's for 2. Sorry, 2.
And as we're driving down the street, we stopped at an Esso station to get cleaned up. And when we pulled back out on the street, Kathy said, "There's the sign for the campground." So we went to the campground and paid per week. And they had a bus service that ran up to the subway, the metro.
Yeah.
And the guy who drove the bus reminded me a lot of my father. He was full of crap, talked all the time. He was a fun character.
Yeah.
We took the bus up to the train station and encountered a Danish couple who recognized us as newbies and said, "Okay, here's how you do this. You go ahead and you bought your tickets and you figured out how to use the machine. The machine had where you are, where you want to go, and
And we had this Danish couple who spotted you for newbies. And
we had already figured out how to get tickets to get on the metro, which the machine had 2 sets of buttons.
Yeah.
You're here, you want to go here, stick in this much money. And as you put it in, it counted it down, and then it spit the tickets out.
Okay.
So we get up to the platform, they see us, and they speak English well enough, really, quite well,
Yeah.
and tell us how to deal with all this. They said, when you go into town, go to the ticket office and buy a week's worth of tickets. They're cheaper, and you'll save money.
Yeah.
And did we go to the Louvre the first day?
Arc of Triumph.
Pardon me?
The Arc of Triumph, because we got out on the Champs-Elysees and it's
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, Jeanville-le-Pont was the station where we got on. It went down to the main station. The main station had a line that ran dead through the middle of Paris for all the tourist traps. You get on that train, you get off at the Arc of Triumph or the Louvre or
Yeah.
wherever else. The Eiffel Tower. What were the story requests?
Oh, well, it's about stolen parts and a gas station.
Okay, we did the gas station. We're still in Paris. Went to the Eiffel Tower and the museum across from the Eiffel Tower. I don't remember the proper name for it, but there's a large body of water out in front. Using a 35 millimeter camera, and I went around and shot the pictures 4 times because the film didn't feed through.
Ah,
We finally got them done. In the process, we're there long enough to watch all these buses of tourists arrive. Stop. Horde of people get off. Click, 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 click. Get back on the bus. Vroom. You know, see Europe in 5 days.
yeah.
No. You take pictures for 5 days. You see it when you go home. And while we were there, that was a museum. And we got inside, and the guy told us the mummy would disintegrate in the case, just from being there.
Yeah.
Before we went into the museum, we're looking beyond the Eiffel Tower, and there's a big building over there. And we looked at our map, and it says the Col de Militaire. And I turned to Kathy and I said, yeah, that's where they keep all the little militaries. And a woman who understood English said, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I love to mutilate French.
Oh yes. Well, it's easy to do.
Yeah, mercy buck up. We got back home, and you remember me talking about the radiac room having nothing in it except the battery box.
Mhm.
Well, that's where we usually hid surplus equipment, stuff that we weren't supposed to have.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that room was empty was because all that stuff was in the back of my car.
Okay.
And we went to the movie that evening. And there were 2 ways to get from the movie back to the main road to go out home. One of them was a tank trail through the woods. That's the shortest path. So I start down the tank trail, and this guy behind me has got high beams on. I can't see squat. And I can't get rid of him, but there's really no place else for him to go.
Yeah.
So we get up to the road, and I pulled over to the side so I can get him to go around me. It turns out it's an MP truck car. They come back and they said, why did you pull over? I said, because I couldn't see a damn thing.
Yeah.
You guys are blinding me with your lights. Well, okay. They get in their Jeep and drive away. Kathy says, oh my God, we got all that shit in the back end. I said, yeah, but I was so pissed I forgot about it.
That worked out for you.
Yeah. Like, you know, telling the general the lie that you've been practicing.
Yeah.
Q, what was your other story?
Your buddy with a self-winding watch.
Oh, yeah. So, 4 of the guys from the barracks came out because they knew we still had some sea rations from going to Paris. And they wanted to score some sea rats. And we indulged in some recreational activities.
Mm-hmm.
And they forgot to ask about the sea rations. And they went to the concert over the weekend. I saw him Monday. He said, man, I got so stoned my self-winding watch ran down and quit.
Yeah.
He didn't move enough to wind a self-winding watch. We went to see Chicago. They were excellent. Went to see Jose Feliciano.
Mm-hmm.
He was excellent. He said, everyone who wants to take pictures, come up during this first song and take all the pictures you want. After that, I don't want to hear any shutters.
Mm-hmm.
So I went up and took close-up pictures of Jose Feliciano.
Yeah.
The Chicago concert, there was a joint probably that big around that got passed through the crowd, followed by a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And we went to see Uriah Heep.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first 5 minutes, we decided Uriah Heep was not a band we wanted to hear.
Mm-hmm.
We went out and sat on the bus in the cold. That's fine.
No, because they opened the doors and everybody crashed it. You couldn't find a place to sit.
Mm.
Okay. Anyhow, I didn't like the music. So we got on the bus and we waited. Everybody came out and got on the bus and we started home. And we had to go past the airport. And it had the landing strobes on. You know,
Yeah.
So we're driving down the road. The lights go off. And about 3 seconds later, the entire bus goes, oh, wow. It was cool, seeing it straight, you know.
Going to Burger King, I want to meet the king, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to Grafenwehr. I've told you about the Black Forest. Grafenwehr was a tank range. It was really kind of nice. I wandered around during the day and took pictures of the chapel on base.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of chapels, we went to Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
We were young enough and they were open enough that we climbed all the way up the bell tower and sat on the roof
Holy moly.
and took pictures. So I am invested in the restoration of Notre Dame.
Well, I can imagine.
They're supposed to have it done by next year. They're making good progress on it.
I was there just about a year or less before it burned. I was on the inside taking, I didn't get up on the roof of it. How in
Well-
the world did you get up there?
They had the stairway open.
Huh.
You could climb up that left tower.
Jeez.
Things were different then.
Yeah.
There weren't fences and guards and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's something I miss from my youth. You could just go about anywhere you wanted to go.
Yeah.
Nobody cared, and now everything is just so
Yeah.
strict.
We wandered in and out of the Eiffel Tower. No
Huh.
fences.
Wow.
We took the elevator,
Mhm.
got slammed sideways, which everybody does,
Yeah.
except the operator. He knows what's going to happen. Yeah, there were no fences, no guards, no nothing.
Yeah.
And the army base where I was had no fences,
Huh.
no guard shacks, no check-ins.
Wow.
I mean, Fort Gordon had sentries
Yeah.
at the gate, but I got to Germany and there's nothing. And now they've got 10-foot high with slanted barbed wire,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which I'm finding on the internet because I'm in a bomb holder group. I didn't go to any of the beer fests. We did go to the local May Day festival where everybody from 3 towns got together and had a parade, decorated the bicycles. Our town had the Catholic Church. The 3 towns around us did not.
Huh.
So we were the center of attention. Our landlord, the male, was town crier. And when something official came down, he would go out and read it at the top of his voice 4 or 5 places around town,
Yeah.
ringing the bell before he started, and then post it at the bus stop, which was right across from the guest house. So it was a central location. At the end of the war, the French border was in the woods just to the south of us. Germany couldn't get any bread. Maria was a young enough kid
Yeah.
that she would go through the woods to France and buy bread and bring it back.
Huh.
It was, they had a picture of Dad in his Nazi uniform. They were quite open. We managed to run a budget and have money left at the end of the month. Maria said on numerous occasions, "We never met no Americans like you before."
Is that a good thing?
We were different.
Okay.
I bought oil, heating oil, on the economy. We got down short on time, and I said, "Maria, can you call the oil guy?" She said, "Well, most of the Americans just bring it home in 5-gallon cans."
Yeah.
So that's what I did for the rest of the time I was there. She was almost childlike when she would come and say, "Some of those days when you go to town, can you get us some breads?" Meaning white sliced bread, because what they got was long loaves
Yeah.
of brown bread. They didn't get any sandwich bread. There was no grocery store in town. There were trucks that came through, one that came through with drinks, soft drinks, and another one that came through with breads and such. Kathy and Maria went to the grocery store. You had to take your own bags or pack it loose in the trunk of the car. Where'd you say you went to Trier
Yeah.
to go to the grocery? Kathy was phenomenal, okay? She flies over by herself on a Douglas that jumped from Newfoundland across. She arrived at Frankfurt Airport. We stuffed her and 5 other people, more people, in the Volkswagen.
I was just 5 that day. It was big.
She was sitting on my lap.
No, that's when we went to Graff. Coming home from the airport, I sat in front, and there was you and another couple in the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah.
So we get her home, to Germany home, and the next day, I had to leave on maneuvers. Boom.
Yeah.
Does nobody, just in country, still doing jet lag.
Yeah.
I was up for 36 hours. I slept. I feel too sorry for me.
And at the end of the first week, the CO and all, well, we were coming up on payday, so the lieutenant had to come back to pick up the payroll. And they sent me and the other guy whose wife had just arrived, they sent us home. And we got to spend the weekend with our wives. And then we had to go back. And before the maneuvers were done, they sent us back a second time, because they'd rotated through everybody
Yeah.
that needed to go home. But she managed all by herself. She was the mature woman in the group.
Yeah.
There was you and Bonnie and Marilyn and Cerna.
O'Brien's.
Yeah, OBs. I think that was all of us. And then there was Mac and Janet in the other town. And yeah, I can't remember his name. Had one guy in AIT from Valdosta, Georgia. Always talking about Vidalia onions.
Yeah.
Started out in electronics class with a guy named Mick Davis. And Mick was palling around with various people. He'd been to college. He looked at electronics opposite of what I did. He looked at whole flow because it worked better for the math, which he'd already had. I looked at electron flow. But anyhow, he got in a conversation with somebody and told them that he had majored in chemistry. And I said, well, hey, we got an opening at the CID lab. And he transferred from electronics to CID, and he ran gas chromatograph on samples of dope. So my encounter with him was rather on the brief side, but they did invite us to the lab party where they had taken pure alcohol and made punch.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, there's a lot of odds and ends that I don't usually think about anymore.
You can't after all that punch.
Yeah.
So you, when you got out of the Army, you came back here.
Yeah.
You were in the reserves, but you went back to work somewhere. Where'd you go?
Well, somewhere along the line, I worked for 30 days at Delco. Yeah, that.
36.
Huh?
Oil, yeah.
What?
The oil tanker.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather not remember that one.
Oil tank.
Yeah, a 2,000-gallon tank truck delivering bulk fuel and heating oil. And I screwed up, and after it got corrected, they called me into the office, and I said, would you like me to quit? He said, I don't think you're cut out to be a tank truck driver. And I said, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So I didn't stay there very long. And I worked a construction job for fireplaces and remodeling. And I didn't exactly approve of the way things were being done. So when the opportunity to leave that and go to Delco came, I did that. After Delco, the unemployment office put me into Anderson Business Machines, working on office equipment. And I said, yeah, this will work because offices have electronic calculators and electrical typewriters, and that'll fit in with my training. So I went to work for ABM. And Kathy got pregnant with her first child. We had insurance. We had moved. We were down here. And we had lived on Brown Street previously. Got notice to go back to work at Delco the night before I was supposed to go to Delco.
Yeah.
I had insurance. I had a pregnant wife. I didn't really care for working at Delco. I didn't go back to Delco. I stayed at ABM for a long time. Actually, until we got bought by stationers out of Indianapolis. And they said, you're making more money than anybody we have except the truck drivers. So you're going to have to be a truck driver. Okay. You can drive this northeast corner of Indianapolis. They split it,
Yeah.
you know, major enters. I went down there and did it for a week, and I said, no. I could work in warehouse. I can pick orders all day long and do it efficiently. I don't know jack crap about Indianapolis streets. And you want me to drive one of these big friggin' trucks that are top heavy around doing this stuff? No. So I left that job. So when I went to work for Howard,
I think so.
my brother-in-law had a construction company in Fort Wayne. And he did commercial ceilings and steel stud framing for for commercial buildings. And I said, well, you know, I've framed, I remodeled this house. Yeah, I'll come work for you. So it's an hour and a half drive to Fort Wayne. I stayed here and I drove back and forth. They kept saying, why don't you move to Fort Wayne? I said, because the house is paid for. And I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
When I came back from service, my sister lived in Fort Wayne, and I thought about moving up there, and I started looking at all the resources that I had in Anderson. I still had a machine shop teacher that I could get into for lathes. I had my brother's wood shop that I could work in. I had all the electrical wholesalers that I knew here in town. I had too many connections in Anderson to be able to walk off to Fort Wayne. So they want me to move to Fort Wayne. I said no. So I'm driving back and forth every day. One day on the way home, I got to the Marion exit and realized I didn't remember the last 10 miles of road. I had been asleep at the wheel.
Holy moly.
At 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I said, I got to start going to bed.
Yeah.
So from then on, I went to bed at 7 o'clock and got up at 4. And people would ask me, oh, did you see such and such a show?
Yeah.
No.
No, I did the same thing. Yeah, working third shift.
Yeah. Yeah, I worked third at Delco. But my brother loved third. He was driving a school bus. And he'd get off work and drive the route, go home, go to sleep, get up, have some time, run the afternoon route, go back to work.
Yeah.
He was working his ass off to get out of debt. And I watched him work at that. So when we were in Germany, we started a budget. And we've been in debt a couple times, but we've hauled back out of it. Never met no Americans like you before. You got money left at the end of the month. You don't get drunk. And you don't fight with each other.
Yeah.
Well, we had one time when we were down to our last couple bucks and we were deciding whether we really wanted milk or pop that time.
Depending on whether or not you had any Cheerios left.
That's right.
Yeah. We took pictures and eventually there were pictures in the kitchen and somehow they got sent home and people said, you have Jif? Well, yeah, we got a PX. The Army takes America with them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You have to work to get something else. Getting ready to come home, got a replacement coming into signal shop. I heard about him. Walked into the barracks, and here's this guy sitting just inside the front door that I've never seen before. I said, are you the new dude in signal? He said, no, I don't. Wait a minute, let's try that again.
Yeah.
Are you the new dude in signal? Yeah, I thought you were asking me if I had a light. And that was my introduction to Joe Iannicelli. No. Joe was after I came home. Vitale. Joe was from the Chicago area. Detroit. I stand corrected by my capable reference person. He was Italian and wore the bullhorn. His brother-in-law got stationed at Bad Kreuznach, and he found an Italian restaurant in BK. So we took Joe and went up and met his brother-in-law, who took us to the Italian restaurant. And Joe gets his Italian bullhorn out, prominently displayed, and speaks to the waitress in Italian. Wonderful. We're having a gay old time. got a discount on the meal.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. The Italian discount.
So we went back a second time. And again, he's having the conversation in Italian. And all of a sudden he paused. And then he went on, and she looked at him and he said, Sicily, mafia. And boom, she was off the kitchen. And we thought, oh man, we're in trouble. Well, no. But what it is northern Italian and southern Italian. He's from Sicily,
Yeah.
and he couldn't think of the northern word.
Oh boy.
And she nailed him. Saw cans of Hershey's syrup for the equivalent of $5 a can sitting in the window of one of the shops over
yeah.
there. Came home, did Howard for a long time. Why did I leave Howard? I know I was tired of driving.
Because you went back.
Oh, I went to work up at the glass shop.
Oh, okay, I forgot about that.
While I was working on typewriters, I serviced Elwood schools. And somebody said, have you been out to the glass factory? Who?
Yeah.
So I went and found Joe Sinclair, found his shop, and I was fascinated.
Mm-hmm.
I watched and watched and watched.
Yeah.
And learned a whole bunch of history. Well, I'm working in Fort Wayne and I get an email from Joe Rice, who is Joe Sinclair's nephew. And Joe Rice has bought Bob and Maud's out on the west side of Elwood. And I'd been up there and watched him at his own shop. He had worked with Jody, but when Jody passed and Bob passed, Joe Rice took over Bob's shop. And he sent me an email and said, how would you like to work with me? Yes.
Yeah.
So I left Howard and went to work at Elwood. And there's more to spinning glass on the end of that rod than you can believe. He paid me the same as everybody else. And I didn't really deserve it because I didn't have the skills that the rest of them had. I still love it. I'd love to go up and play. He has downsized. In fact, he retired finally. But it's a fascinating medium.
Yeah, it would be. I've watched a little bit of it, just enough to understand what you're saying about it.
Yeah. I like to make divinity, and you cook sugar and corn syrup down until it gets to the consistency of a soft ball. Oh, when it's at that stage, you can put it on the end of a stick and it acts just like hot glass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to keep it moving. Your sense of balance is crazy. So eventually I left there because I couldn't do it. I was stressing severely.
Yeah.
And I went back to Fort Wayne. I left Fort Wayne because my younger son had helped open Home Depot in Carmel, in a brand new store. He'd been working there for a while. He said, Dad, why don't you come over here and go to work? Okay. So I went to work, worked in the paint department. Apparently I made an impression on them. The store manager, I asked him what he wanted me to do there in the paint department. He said, that paint department is yours. You do what you want. I said, okay. So I tore down the paint mixers one at a time and got all the junk paint out of them, got them cleaned up, and, just spiffed the department to the max. The opportunity arose to move to flooring. And, I thought, yeah, that's going to be cool. Carpet, vinyl. Well, that also entailed blinds and custom orders and chasing people down and trying to sell them over the phone. And none of that was what I liked to do.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving into work one day and I said, I don't want to be in flooring anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I went into the managers and I said, I don't want to be in flooring anymore. And they said, we wondered how long it was going to take you.
Yeah.
So they moved me into garden. And I really don't know that much about plants.
Yeah.
Trees, yeah,
Yeah.
not plants. But mechanics, yeah. So I became a lawnmower salesman by default. We had 4 models of lawnmower in one brand, and we had 2 models in Hondas. And the Hondas are salty. The others, all of them had different features.
Yeah.
But the next to the top one had all the features except power drive, or I forget what the other feature was, but it had everything else.
Yeah.
So I would demo that one. And it got to the point where I'd done it enough times that I had a spiel.
Yeah.
And somebody come in and say, you show me a lawnmower? Okay. Get down on my knees and go through the whole thing. Get up, you know. And if you want this, you buy that. If you want the other, you buy that.
Mm-hmm.
And these don't have the features that one does. This is the most bang for the buck. Oh, and don't forget to buy your stable to put in your gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 guys come in on a Saturday, asked me about lawnmowers. I do the spiel. I said, would you like this one, or this one? He said, we just came down to hear you do the sales pitch because we'd heard about it.
So you were into acting for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, sir, that's unauthorized. We wouldn't do a thing like that. Kind of reminds me of Dad. When I was at Central Avenue School, they had PTA fairs.
Yeah.
And Dad would organize theatrical productions.
Mm-hmm.
Took 4-inch mesh and built a cage and gilded it so that they could sing She's Only a Bird in a Gilded Cage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I come by my lying, honestly.
Yeah. So so were there other jobs that you worked in besides the ones you've listed so far?
From Depot, they got a new manager, and she started firing good help.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I need to find another job.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that to a guy that I was working with. He was working part-time, evenings. I said, man, I need to find another job. I don't like what's going on around here. He said, why don't you give me a call? Well, he was working for Allied Electrical in Indianapolis. And Allied Electrical has an Anderson office.
Mm.
And they needed a driver.
Mm.
So I became the driver for Allied here in Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
And I retired from there. I knew Anderson.
Yeah.
I'd done deliveries for ABM. I didn't know Indianapolis. I had no desire to learn Indianapolis, but I knew Anderson. And there were only like 3 places in 3 years that I had trouble finding. It was because they were brand new, brand new additions. Yeah, I retired from there, and I've basically sat on my ass since then, except for having heart attacks and learning more about cardiac activities.
Yeah. Oh. So have you had the whole thing replaced by now, or?
Actually, they did a pole rebuild. I got 4 bypasses and a valve.
Wow.
And a pacemaker. We went down yesterday for the checkup on the pacemaker, and he said my battery's good for 11 years.
There you go.
I figure some other major organ will fail before my heart.
Wow.
He improved the ejection efficiency from 25% to 45%. So
It's good to hear.
it's functioning much better.
Yeah, some of those Facebook posts were getting a little iffy, and
Yeah,
had his concern there.
he had you concerned. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
kept my mouth shut. After they had done the surgery for the bypasses in the valve, I had another heart attack. And I think that was the one that I uttered the 4-letter word. You know, they always ask you, where are you on the pain scale of 1 to 10?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I found my 10.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've never had one, and
I hope you
but
don't.
I've heard they're pretty painful.
I hope you don't.
I heard you know it when you have it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was having problems when my wife insisted that I go to the hospital. And that wound up being a commitment.
We're just about. We've already established that you have an exceptional wife, and she has an exceptional husband. Tell us about your exceptional children.
Quentin was a sports writer in high school and immediately after high school. Traveled all over the country, developed quite a following. Had the opportunity to do a radio broadcast on WHBU, also sports. That migrated into a full-time job of page layout for the newspaper organization. He composes for multiple papers throughout
okay.
the state. Is there a problem, dear? My younger son had many jobs. As I said previously, he worked at Home Depot.
What's the name? I want to make sure.
Daniel.
Okay.
Daniel worked at Home Depot. Quentin, known as Q,
Okay.
writes for the paper, or composes for the paper. Dan got married, we have one granddaughter, Annie, named after her maternal grandmother. And Dan now works in Indianapolis on overnights. Quentin works overnights as well.
Yeah.
Overnight at Indianapolis Power and Light as a security observer. He monitors the cameras that spy on all their different locations.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And he also fills out a lot of forms. He's doing paperwork just like I did.
Okay.
But it's a good paying gig.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't drive you crazy, good pay is good.
Yeah. What else?
Oh, well, while we're on the subject, thank you, Quentin, for all of the posts and updates on Facebook when your dad was going through all that.
Easy that way with a big ass family.
Yeah, hear that. Hear that.
And then you get into the friends, and it's even bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
we sure appreciated it.
I have a great nephew who is currently in Europe. He's in Italy, headed north. I think I mentioned Chris Topher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's who's over there now. And he's posting on Facebook. And you can't take pictures in the Sistine Chapel, but you can look down at your phone, and if it happens to go off in your face, no, sir, we wouldn't do a thing like that.
Okay. That sounds a lot like what you told the general, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been sending pictures of all kinds. And you look at the structures anywhere in Europe, the classic structures, and consider what they had for tools, how they had to move materials, how they had to shape materials.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal workmanship. I mean, the joints are tight. There wasn't any filler.
Yeah.
When we were in the Louvre, we went around a corner in the building, and the wall was curved. And there was an inlay in the curved wall,
Wow.
and it looked like a shadow box.
Huh.
And I said, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then you stop and think about how long ago and how hard it would have been to have made that.
Yeah, they had nothing else to do, you know.
And yeah, during the plague,
Yeah.
the guy invented calculus. How bored do you have to be? I decided, having been through pretty much the painting side of the Louvre and just getting started on the statuary, that I really should have spent my time over in statuary.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I wanted to see the Mona Lisa, but I was really impressed with statues of Diana.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember the rest of them.
The
But
one I remember is the one of Napoleon in his robe.
yes,
then
and
he
all
had
the
little
tiny
square
bees.
Oh, yeah.
on the
Yeah.
robe.
That's an impressive place. Yeah, you could spend a little time in there.
Yeah. I think I reposted recently the picture of the guard and his supervisor. Maybe I just put it in a comment. I did. It was in a comment. I caught a picture of the guard's supervisor walking down the hall about to chew out the guard who was sleeping in the chair. You can see in the picture exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. I had a picture like that. I didn't actually take a photograph of it, but remember in the mall, they had this little raised platform, and that's where Santa Claus sat.
Yeah.
And this was after Christmas, and there was this tired old lady who just decided to sit down there because she was, and she looked so forlorn, and it looked as though, oh, I miss Santa. I was too late.
Yeah.
Just one of those mental pictures I remember. Is there anything about your life, things that you've been involved in, or anything that we've missed here?
Only the concept that I've been a jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm.
Mastered some.
Yeah.
I have no regrets. I have a perfect woman.
Mm-hmm.
I got hit by a car in 4th grade,
Mm-hmm.
and I was unconscious for a period of time. When I came back around, I no longer feared death
Hmm.
because I had that experience while I was out. Now, during
one of those near-death experiences, and then you
yeah,
come back?
seeing the light,
Yeah.
I haven't had that in these recent heart attacks,
Yeah.
but it took away my fear. I had previously been scared of dying, and after that hospital experience in 4th grade, I no longer feared death,
Yeah.
and I still don't.
What did you see or experience? Was there anything?
All I remember is light,
Just the light. Yeah.
and that's enough
Yeah.
for me.
You're S10.
Huh?
You're S10. Your gray
Oh
S10,
yeah.
it's the most-
Well, I had a gray S10, and I was driving up to Fort Wayne to go to work. There was ice all over the road, and I crept past this semi and pulled back in front of him and hit that bump on the bridge, the
Mhm.
overpass, and I lost control,
Oh boy.
and I went spinning.
Oh boy.
And he hit me on the front driver's side and shoved me back into the guardrail, and I bounced out in the middle. And as soon as, well, before he hit me, I knew I'd lost it. There wasn't a thing I could do. All I could do was go along for the ride.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Just kick back and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Driver of the semi was scared crapless. It totaled the truck. But I was okay.
Mm.
Called Howard and said, I won't be there today.
Wow.
Oh, speaking of bad weather, we had a ridiculous snow and ice storm while I was working in Elwood. And I made it to work. I was about an hour late. But I walked in, he said, what are you doing here? I didn't even think you'd come up. I didn't know how bad it was until I got too far away from home. Might as well come on in.
Remind me of that blizzard of '78. One guy came to work on his John Deere tractor.
Okay. We were living here,
Yeah?
and I was working downtown, and I missed 3 days' work because the drifts over
yeah.
on Arrow, they had 8th Street packed down, but I couldn't get a vehicle to it.
Mm-hmm.
And my boss lived south of town, south of the interstate. So he wasn't going
No,
anywhere
he wouldn't
either.
go anywhere.
Yeah, the Blizzard of '78 was an experience. He was young enough to sit in a 2-foot-high chair, and we stuck him in the middle of a big snowdrift that I'd dug out. Show how deep it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite an experience. We lived in Moonsville. And came in and
That was out in the nowhere.
was with Mom and Dad here in town, and getting back out there in the snow drifts and canyons of snow.
Yeah.
And of course,
I got home on that morning in snowmobile.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was about the only thing moving.
Has he ever told you that it was his fault?
Oh, 78 was your fault?
What was?
Blizzard of '78 was your fault?
Yeah.
Oh?
I told the secretary I want snow for my birthday. January 25th, we got snow. I have
Now
never,
we know.
I have
Boy,
never asked.
I'm
Now
glad
we know
we.
who to blame.
I'm
I've
glad we
never asked
came
for
to.
snow again.
Now we know how to blame, who to
Yep.
blame.
Yep.
Well, the day after my mother was born, the Tsar abdicated, so I always kind of blamed her on that.
That's
Well, I tell
reaching
you,
back a bit.
There are certain people that have a lot of clout.
Yeah. I have replaced many vehicles due to ridiculous impacts.
Mm-hmm. I just did one. It was a company car, so it didn't matter to me as much as it did to them.
Well, I had this insurance agent who managed to get me excellent coverage, 0 deductible, and on comp and collision, you know,
Uh-huh.
you just can't get that kind of policy unless your wife happens to write the policy.
So is there anything in life you haven't gotten around to doing that you wish you could do? I mean, fly to the moon or just whatever.
Well, I haven't built my casket yet.
Okay.
Well, I've been to Europe and seen the sights. I've been to Sioux City, Iowa, and slept both times going across the Mississippi River. I've been to California. I've been in both Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. I've been to Alice's restaurant in California.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
We didn't even do that.
Where's that located?
it's on the ridge. Yeah, it's on the highway
Okay.
that runs along the ridge. And it's at the intersection of another highway.
Highway what?
Yeah, I want to say 1. Well, that's not Alice's. That's the bookstore.
No.
No,
No, it's Alice's.
it is Alice.
It's Alice.
Okay.
Get that on the, get that out there for that lens.
All right.
Okay,
Gonna get it?
let me get down here.
I am deja vu. Exactly on this situation.
Okay. Now hold it still, hold it still.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
I'll go back out here just so we can get the whole thing. Okay, we got it.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Son of a gun, Alice's Restaurant.
Yeah, that whole
All their hamburgers named
that
after
whole
motorcycles.
sequence. That whole sequence of me holding the picture up is a deja vu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been there before.
Oh, no kidding.
Okay.
Like you've already seen it.
Yeah. Wow.
No, I don't think I have any great ambitions yet to fill.
Had a pretty satisfactory life.
I always wanted to be happy with my life, and I have been.
Mm-hmm.
There have been times where I wasn't pleased with things, but,
Oh, yeah.
you know, overall, that's cool.
A little car accident put your life in perspective, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Heart attack has kind of gotten my attention.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The implant device is making tremendous difference. I don't feel like I've ever been down.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, my grandmother had a pacemaker put in. It made all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was always falling down and blacking her face, and once she got that in, she just perked right up.
Yeah. Get enough blood flowing through system,
Makes a big difference.
keep the brain working.
Yeah. Well, we always ask our veterans to say a few words for posterity. You got any words of wisdom or personal philosophy that's kind of carried you in life?
Everybody gets out of bed the same. You get dressed the same. You all wind up in the same size hole. How much money you make in between times, no matter how important you think you are, we're all the same.
Mm-hmm. Good one. Good one. Well, Specialist Harlan, I want to thank you for this interview and for your service to our country.
Well, thank you, Don.
Appreciate your time today.